Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new installment of AV Veterans Talk. I'm your host, Bob Alvis, and this week we're speaking with Christine Yandek, performer and United States Army veteran. Hello there. Hey, we're here today with Christine Yandek. Did I do good with that?
You did great.
Oh, great. Great for that stuff and everything. This is good. And we're really pleased to have you here today because you and I have actually spent some time over a couple of years and stuff. We met on kind of Facebook. Was that correct?
Yes.
And you kind of wonder, what the heck is this guy bugging me for? But I was doing the veteran show at the radio station, and you had an incredible story that you had to share. And, and suddenly, after some interaction with you and stuff, we came up with some... just the fact that you're this incredible person, stuff. I go humble. I know you're humble and things like that, and we appreciate, your service to the country. But now to have an opportunity to share you in this format and stuff, and actually, get into some more background of who you are, Christine. And I'm really looking forward to this. I want to thank you for coming all the way down from Tehachapi.
Thank you
for this and stuff. Yeah. So. Young girl, grow up. What part of the country are you from?
I'm from Ohio. Originally.
Uh-huh.
A small town to the west of Cleveland, actually, called Brook Park.
Yeah.
So I was born and raised there. I spent my entire life there until I joined the military. Actually.
Yeah.
So.
Was the military kind of how did you end up in the United States Army? I mean, was it a way to get out of town, or was it no? I have family, or was it just what was it?
There were a lot of reasons for me personally why I joined. I have had several family members. My family has a long legacy of service. Actually, our family's legacy of service dates all the way back to the Civil War. I had all of my grandfathers and great uncles served in one regard or another during the Second World War, and so it was something that I just naturally gravitated towards.
Yeah.
I was raised to appreciate my freedom and to appreciate the things that we have because we live in the United States. And I started going to air shows with my mom and dad when I was young.
That's a good thing. That's a really good thing. I like that.
So they always thought I would join the Air Force.
Yeah.
They were a little bit surprised when I told them that I was talking to an Army recruiter, but of course they were supportive.
Yeah. So, friends and in your communities around there, high school people, what are you doing, Christine? You're leaving us for the Army. That's a big step, isn't it? To suddenly, you grow up in a small town like that with all the, and then all of a sudden you go out into that big bad world, and you ended up in the medical field as a medic, correct?
I was actually in a different military occupational specialty originally.
What was that?
I enlisted originally as a 98, what's called a 98 Charlie, which is a signal intelligence analyst. So I was in communications intelligence to begin with.
Right.
And I did that for the first 6 years of my Army career before I was able to re-enlist and switch occupations.
Yeah. What, did it just get boring playing tick, 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 tick,
no,
messaging and no.
It was clear from the beginning that it wasn't my passion. It wasn't what it was a good job to have, but it wasn't my passion. And unfortunately, because of the security clearances, the high level security clearances that went along with that occupation, it made it a lot more difficult to transition out of that occupation into another occupation.
Yeah.
And so I kind of had to wait until the right circumstances fell into place and gave me the opportunity to re-enlist and then re-enlist as a medic rather than...
Yeah. The mindset comes to, becoming a medic, the drive there. First off, as a communications person, did you ever deploy overseas as working that job classification?
No, that was during a time where we were not involved in combat operations anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
The most that I did in that MOS was serve 2 years in Korea.
Yeah. Was that 1980s? Or?
That was the mid-90s.
Mid-90s. Oh, okay, good deal. Because we'd already gone through Gulf War One.
Right.
Stuff, and so you were stuff. So I know you actually had 3 deployments, correct?
Yes.
into the sandbox, as we call it, over there. And here's kind of an interesting way with the military aspect. We'll get into it later and stuff because you're an accomplished actress, singer and things like that. Okay.
I'm trying.
You're trying. I said, like, did you have that DNA gene when you were a young person too? Or is it something that? How did it grow? You went in the military, and I'm thinking, like, okay, did you have that desire to do acting and things like that when you went into the military?
Not acting.
Yeah.
I was actually a trained dancer.
Okay.
In my former life,
Okay.
and I also was a competitive figure skater for quite a few years
Oh,
before
okay.
I joined the Army.
Okay.
And I know it seems like they're two different worlds, but it's actually not that far a leap to go from one world to another.
Right.
Those two different realms actually have a lot in common. Things like a disciplined, regimented lifestyle.
Absolutely.
And, the level of preparedness that you have to take to exist in both of those worlds. There are a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
And so.
Well, now I know a lot more about you because I know the discipline of a figure skater and those early mornings on the ice and stuff, and the drive to get in there and do that.
4 a.m.
Yeah, 4 a.m. and you're in the military, and stuff, reveille hits and stuff. You got to be good to go. So, all right. So we'll take our first break here, and we'll come back and we'll talk about the military aspect of your career and stuff, and we'll be right back here with Christine. I'm Bob Alvis, and thanks for joining us for this segment of AV Veterans Talk.